Running backs. Man, Barkley's in a great spot, but it's tough. You have Bijan at 8,100. Chase Brown's going to play every snap. Seriously, he played 93% of snaps. It keeps trending up, not down. You have Jahmyr Gibbs with no David Montgomery against an inferior run defense in the Bears. You have Kyron, who, unless you're someone in chat, who was that in chat that said you don't watch football, and said Blake Corum is the guy now. Kyron had 29 carries last game. 29 carries for Kyron Williams last game. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that he has solidified it. What?
Back-to-back games.
Yeah. Yeah, safe to say he's solidified a small role, carved out a small role in that backfield. Then you have James Conner coming off a monster game against Carolina, and James Cook at 7K against the Patriots. James Cook is the guy that would scare me the most out of everybody because while James Cook relies on efficiency and not volume, and Josh Allen can run 3 touchdowns in.
Oh yeah, I'm worried about him. I mean, I'll keep this very, very simple. If we're going 7K and above, it's Bijan.
I knew it would be. And I think that's yes, of course.
There's nothing else to say. He's going to have 20 plus carries. He'll have targets. He's in a great matchup. He's going to score a touchdown. And Chase Brown's awesome, but Chase Brown is getting the Rachaad White situation from last year, in my opinion, where he was great. He was amazing. Then he was great. Then he was good. Then he was solid. And now he is basically, in my mind, getting like all his value is being eroded with the price point.
What you mean is that the production isn't changing, but the price point is no longer kind of commensurate or proportionate to that. Yeah.
When he was 5K, it was a dream. And when he was 6K, it was solid. When he was 7K, it was a really quality return. He's 7,700. That's monster
He's
output.
Also scoring every week, which is good but scary at the same time.
It's just like Rachaad White. We said this last year. Like, what happened? I am taking my wins with Chase Brown, and I'm going to start selling him.
I'm with you. I tell you this: if you're going Bijan, which I totally understand, and you could, if you wanted to say Kyron, I wouldn't fault you for it. If you wanted to say James Conner, even, I wouldn't think you're crazy. It has to be Jahmyr Gibbs here.
I'm really fascinated about this. I really am. I don't know.
Tell me why.
Only in the sense, look, Jahmyr Gibbs is amazing. I don't think that his role is going to change.
I do. I absolutely think it will.
Okay. That'll be the case. I don't.
Can I tell you why?
Please.
They no longer just have a straight shot to the 1 seed or even the division.
Oh, they got to keep winning. It's all hands on deck, no doubt.
And I don't think this game is just some rollover type. This is a spoiler spot for Chicago. Not saying Chicago wins, but the last time they played, Matt Eberflus decided that he wasn't a big fan of having time left on the clock to run more plays on Thanksgiving. Gibbs played 75% of snaps last week. That was a season high by far. What do you think changes then? You think Craig Reynolds comes in and takes the Montgomery role?
So I think that they're going to have to mask some of it with that. Yeah. Maybe not to the fullest extent, but listen, if they start giving Jahmyr Gibbs like 25 carries and like 8 targets, they're going to kill him. I don't think it's going to impact his volume that much. I really don't. He's going to be busy, but he was always busy.
Yeah, I think it's okay, then where do they go? It's like, truly, I'm asking you because I don't know what the alternative is. That backfield, obviously the 1-2 punch is what made them so potent, but Craig Reynolds is not the answer.
No, I mean, it might just be a little like, I think they might have to try to get away with it with little tiny nuanced edges of like, okay, they run it at 10% less. They give 10% more to a couple other people and they just see what they can do. Maybe they will, but we don't really have, I'm trying to think of any data points.
Well, someone in chat just said, where is it? DFS Temp, he handled 31 touches with Montgomery out last year against Vegas.
And maybe they will do that going forward, but this team is I don't know. That'll be, listen, if he's handling 31, and when you see Gibbs in my lineups, don't be surprised. I like Gibbs because Gibbs can get there on the volume he's seeing. He's not going to see less volume. I just don't think this is, I'll say this. I don't think this is like Chuba at all, in my opinion,
Okay.
where he's just
I
like,
think you
okay, it's
probably
Gibbs and
get,
no one else.
I think you get like 7 or 8 carries for Craig Reynolds, and then Gibbs plays 80% of snaps. But
I mean, we're pretty close there, but what percent was he playing now?
55.
Okay, that's less than I thought.
Yeah, I mean, you look at on the season, like the last several 56, 46, 67, 42, 60, 39, 40, 58, 54, 57. That the remove the absence of a guy in Montgomery who, if he gets hot, can have like 20 carries, to me is just massive.
Oh, it's absolutely massive. It's just I will be fascinated to see what they do. I don't have a great solution for them because I don't think running Gibbs into the ground is the best solution, but what else are you going to do?
I don't think they have many options left, is what I'm saying. Like
Very
I think the
possible.
team has to do what they can to win at this point. Another thing, it's going to be cold as shit there in Chicago. And Jared Goff is the furthest thing from a great cold weather, non-dome quarterback. So Gibbs for me, Bijan for you. One thing we can agree on, this top tier 7K and up is loaded.
Sick range.
I mean, the Mega Mind, you know, the real Mega Mind genius play is Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, it was last week too.
Yeah, but I think even more this week, given the guys around them. Because here's what I mean. It's a much better matchup than last week. It's 1,000 times better matchup. I still think Barkley's going to go wildly overlooked
Yeah, I would say he's going to be pretty lost.
in a matchup that's 1,000 times better than the Steelers. So we'll see. Mid tier. I don't like this tier. It's Chuba Hubbard and I'll throw Garendo into the mix because I think they're just going to make him the bell cow. But I'll go right back to the well on Chuba Hubbard. This guy played 97% of snaps last game or whatever it was. They sucked. It was a prototypical letdown spot as a team that was a favorite. He played 97 and 95% of snaps over the last 2 games. Anyone that wants to tell me that Hubbard is no good because of one bad start, you're not looking at what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's going to be incredibly busy. Uh, I have no problems with that. I'm going to go to Jonathan Taylor. I'm going to attack
Really?
him. Yeah, I think this is a cool spot.
Wow.
I like the spot a lot. He's going to see the work. Obviously, if you want to play like narrative street, he just fumbled. And he's not that type of player. Like I equate Jonathan Taylor as like a very intelligent guy that knows what's going on. Really atypical. I think he's going to look good. They're at home against a team in Tennessee that I actually think is a pretty bad team to target on the ground. It's starting to erode. It's up to 4.1 yards allowed per attempt. Over the last 3, it's up to 4.5 yards allowed per attempt. It's crumbling for Tennessee. They're just getting worn down. Jonathan Taylor's going to wear him down even more.
Okay. I can appreciate that. That interception, by the way, was it an interception or a fumble recovery by Tavondre Sweat? I've seen very few people that big in my life.
That guy was a monster beast.
Dude, that stiff arm, 6'4", 362, a hulking giant. That was one of the coolest plays I've ever seen. When he fell, when he got pushed to the ground, I thought he was just going to go into the earth, but he didn't.
No, he didn't. And then, yeah, no, that game was a mess. Tennessee is atrocious.
They're such a bad team. Will Levis is terrible. Anyway, let's talk about the low tier because are you with me? There's just not a lot here at all in the mid range.
No, the mid range. There's
I
not.
have one. I have one for you at the low tier though. I think you might actually like this.
Who, Swift?
Yeah, man. More injuries to that defensive line for Detroit. Just more. They're they're a well-coached team with a good DC, a good OC, and a good head coach. They're fundamentally sound, but eventually you can't coach up non-talent. And Swift is coming off a game yesterday, despite playing from behind with 19 carries. I don't know what the injury situation will look like going forward with him and for the backups like Roshan, but he played another 70% of snaps. 56 or 5,600 for Swift in this game, I think actually looks really good.
Yeah, I mean, as long as he avoided further injury, he scored in that game and it got called back. I love Swift. That was the only guy that I really had written down, though, to be honest.
I would say Tracy too, but when that team plays from behind, it's just a wrap. Like he gets phased out of the offense. So we both go Swift here and move on.
I think so. I really don't have anything else to say. Injuries will open up or they won't, and then we'll be starved for value.